Matthew's my first name, Curtis my middle name. That's how I got Curtis. Fun fact. But just to give y'all a quick little rundown how this all got started. I was walking one day, started thinking to myself, like I gotta figure out ways to grow my social media even more. And throughout the last year, like it grew a lot. And I started thinking about like a lot of people that I met at open mics and shows that have told me that they like look up to like some of the posting I do and that they struggle with it. So I started thinking like, all right, maybe I could organize an event where we can make this bigger than just like for myself. We could like really put on for everyone and help each other all kind of learn how to scale and grow. That way you could take it home on your own and use it to your advantage and accomplish the things you want to accomplish. So that's what this is. And I'm super grateful for everybody that's here to help out, like seriously. It's really crazy actually that this is happening. Like I'm still kind of tweaking that this happened a little bit in my head, but the first homie that's gonna be speaking is my boy Grigs B. This guy, to just give you a quick rundown, he does comedy, music, and this dude's just an overall vibe, so super hyped to hear what you guys say, brother.
Shout out Curtis one time. Give it up for Curtis, man. Thanks for having us. What's good, y'all? My name is Grigs B. I'm from Ventura, California. I've been doing content probably for about 2 years, but I've been doing music for 5 years. It all started just singing in church, just singing along the church songs, and then kind of just jumped out the pew and started making music, and it started going somewhere. It was cool, you know, music's music. If you have some money behind you, you're gonna blow up. If you don't have some money behind you, you better be fucking J. Cole or fucking, you know, better spit some fucking Kendrick bars, you feel me? So I realized it wasn't going nowhere really, and then all of a sudden around Christmas time I started doing a comedy out of nowhere, just joking around on Instagram, really getting heavy on the hashtags. I was in Ventura at the time in California, and I posted, it was like, you remember the videos? I was like, we're from wherever, this is what we do, like we're from San Diego, or so I did one of those as a joke. That shit fucking like 1 million views. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, this shit's funny, you know? So did another comedy video about where I was from in Ventura, like local shit, like understanding like local shit about a pizza place. Boom, another 1 million views. I was like, what the fuck? So I started, you know, my hashtags of all the little cities, and learn all them little local jokes, and fucking, I was like, well, I'm moving out of Ventura. I came down to San Diego. You know, 2 months, just studied, kind of went around the city, learned what people was talking about and shit, local shit, talking about the trolley, joking about how fucking nasty ass motherfuckers on that trolley. That shit's nasty as fuck. Don't fucking lie. That shit's nasty. It smells like shit, but it gets you around the city. You feel me? But if you can make jokes about local shit that everybody will understand and connect to, throw them little hashtag Chula Vista, hashtag Santi, hashtag whatever, you're gonna go viral, because everybody is here just sitting here doing nothing at their little 9-to-5 job, doing nothing, waiting to laugh at your ass. So fucking do that shit. A big thing that made my shit take off, I get a lot of views, is collaborating with meme pages. These local meme pages. People are laughing at that shit, looking at that shit. Hit them up. Hey, I want to collab. Yeah, $5 a promo or whatever. Pay that shit. If you're about your fucking shit, pay that shit. Because you know the views, you'll get paid off that shit eventually. But yeah, just collaborating with local pages and being able to go out there, be on camera, talk to people. Don't just hide behind your shit. A lot of musicians just kind of hide behind the music, hide behind the cover art. Gotta get in front of the camera, let people follow a journey. But yeah, that's really it. You know, I do my comedy shit. That's it. My name's Grigs B.
Where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Grigsby's Live or anywhere. Yeah. Don't be afraid to pop out and go to shit. Y'all are here today. Keep going to shit. You never know who the fuck you're gonna meet. But yeah, my name is Grigs B. If y'all have any questions, let me know.
make some noise for Grigs B one more time, y'all. Yeah. Hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah. All right, so the next person speaking is a good homie of mine, creative genius. This guy, seriously, like, just to give y'all some words real quick about Kay. One of the most creative musicians I've met, like, for real, for real. This dude, well, you tell him an idea and he'll make it happen. Like, I've never seen someone make 3 songs out of 1 beat, and we did it before the help of this guy. He taught me a lot, and I'm super grateful to have him here to speak for y'all. And on top of that, shout out to him for real, because he helped make this happen here. So, KayPressPlay, where you at, bro? All right, y'all doing?
Chilling, man.
Some of y'all might know me, KayPressPlay. Some of y'all don't know me. I go by KayPressPlay. I'm gonna top my Instagram up here real quick.
Yeah, let's start doing that, yo.
Yeah, I'm gonna start it right now.
There, put your tag on the board so people want to follow you.
Oh, my handwriting sucks.
I like that. Or matter of fact, we should probably just put everybody's tag.
Yeah, I don't waste time.
Yeah, we'll do that.
That's where y'all can find me, alright?
So, yeah.
Alright, so I started music. Let me take y'all back. I started music at the age of 8. I realized I had a gift, and the gift can't go forgotten, and it can't be unused. I got grounded in middle school, elementary school, something like that, for talking too much in class. My father grounded me. He said no TV, no video games, no PlayStation 2, no nothing. I was like, dang, man. Things I thought was important. I was like, oh man, you know, I'm a kid, I just want to play, I want to go outside. I want to watch TV. He was like, no, you're grounded for, I don't know, it was like a week or 2 weeks or something like that. I was a smart kid in school, so I wasn't, you know, failing or nothing. He was just like, look, there are other people that want to learn, there are other kids that want to learn, so you have to understand that just because you're, you know, excelling in school and you have the time to talk or whatever, you may be bringing somebody else down. I was like, all right, cool. My dad had a piano. He had bought me a guitar for Christmas. I had never touched these things. So I started touching the piano. I said, Dad, can I play the piano? It's not, you know, it's technically electronic, but like, can I play around with it? He was like, yeah, that's fine, son, go ahead. So I started touching the piano. Started playing with the keys. This is 8 years old. Started playing with the keys. I was like, you know what? I really like this thing. Like, I really like this. So I started messing with it. I had no school taught nothing, no coach, no nothing. I just started playing around with the keys. 2 weeks, I was playing piano. I had no distractions. No anything. Just school, come back, play the piano. School, come back, I'm grounded, play the piano. I taught myself 2 things at that moment. That there's no excuses. He took them out. He took those excuses out. And I was like, dang, man. If I want to do something, I can just do it. I picked a guitar. No proper training. But what is training? What is training when you pay somebody? You're paying somebody else to do something that you have the same useful gifts to do, right? I think everybody has, what, 10 fingers, 8 fingers, 2 thumbs, 2 legs, and that's a blessing that you guys have that, right? Same brain, right? Same as them. I find people make excuses. I can't, like, I gotta go to school for this. I gotta go to 4-year college. Yeah, that's great, you can. That's good, you should. I'm going to school too. But how much time have you wasted in your life with excuses and distractions? So let's fast forward a little bit. I went to college. I wasn't paying attention, and I forgot everything that my father taught me. I dropped out. I also forgot about music. I then joined the Navy. I did 10 years in the Navy. In the Navy, I traveled. I got a little older, got a little bit more mature. And I met a friend out here. He had a studio. He said, come to the studio. Suddenly, the music made me remember everything that I learned. I was younger. And I was like, whoa, I'm distracted. I'm distracted. So I went on my very last deployment, and I was like, well, I want to do music. And everybody's like, all right, cool. They already knew I could sing, I could rap, I could write. But they were like, man, you know it's gonna be expensive getting the producers. You're gonna be playing this game. You're gonna be paying for producers, it's gonna cost a lot of money, you're not gonna make it. All the other excuses they try to, it's too late, dude. I've gotten rid of excuses, I've gotten older, I've done my time, and I know where I came from. So I was like, all right, so I just eliminated. I'll learn how to produce. I taught myself piano. I taught myself guitar. I taught myself how to play trumpet, saxophone, drums, everything. What's producing? So I taught myself how to produce. On deployment. Dang. On deployment, I said, does anybody have a laptop? So talk about excuses. I'm on a ship in the middle of the water. Does anybody have a laptop? I have a laptop, can I use it? Sure, here you go. All right. Does anybody have some sort of dog? I do. Do you know how to use it? I said no, but I learned it. So I did. I put myself on punishment. I was grounded. I grounded myself. I came back. I bought my equipment piece by piece, and I was producing. Myself. Producing. Now, I've eliminated all distractions and excuses. I continue to teach myself and discipline myself. Now I am a producer, engineer, singer-songwriter, rapper, musician, and now I have no excuse. If I want to make a song, I can make a song. Why am I telling you this? Because a lot of times, we're waiting. We're waiting for opportunity, but opportunity starts with you. Does that make sense? Opportunity starts with you. It starts here. It starts here. If I would have never done that, I would have still been waiting. What's the excuse? Money? Okay. I'll tell you what. I've already met one goal. Man, I want to make music. Well, shit, dude. I'm making music. That was the goal. I'm making music. Now, I make my passion meet my needs. And you'll never work a day in your life. But yeah, that's a little backstory for me, who I am. I came from the East Coast. I joined the Navy. I've always been into music. I play by ear, obviously, because I had no proper training, but I'm really good at it. And I met my beautiful fiance over here, that's sitting in the back by piano. She is marketing, business, social media genius. I'm music, talent side, so we just kind of meshed, and that's just how it works. We have a business called 5 to 9 Creatives. It's a kind of like a networking, creative space to allow, creative, artistic people to come and network with businesses or whatever it may be. And then we do, talent shows and all type of stuff. So yeah, I'm the talent and music coordinator for that business, and I kind of want to bring her up and actually talk about 5 to 9 Creatives, if you will. Can you?
Hello. Oh gosh. Hi guys, my name is Heaven. I am the founder and creator of the 5 to 9 Creatives. We've done, I think, three events. Our first one I made because we were going to these networking events and kind of realized that everyone just kind of stood around. No one was actually networking. Everything was super cliquey, and I was like, what the fuck? Why did we pay to show up here and do nothing? No one wanted to talk to us. We even one time drove all the way up to LA to go to an event, big event that was networking, promoted on Instagram. And we made a whole weekend out of it, showed up, and no one talked to us. Nobody talked to us. And I was like, what? This is insane. We drove 2 hours, we got a hotel room, we made a whole weekend out of it. And then I realized shortly after, I was like, why don't we just do it here? there's so many people in San Diego, you know, so many creator friends who drive the 2-3 hours in traffic to LA to do these opportunities, try to find the opportunities. And I was like, why don't we just make them here in San Diego for all the creatives, not just music, not just art, not just influencing, none of that. I was like, we are all creative. That's it, point, period, blank. Whether you have a passion or not, you're creative in some sort of way. So we made intentional creative networking events, and ours were very straightforward, very open. We've had 2 events, we've sold out both of those events in a tiny little photo studio downtown. That was kind of crazy because I was like, what if nobody shows up? And Curtis was going through that earlier today, and I was like, no, people will show up, you will be fine, everyone will have a great time. There's always something that's gonna happen, it's part of it. However, those 2 events sold out, and I was kind of like, oh fuck, well, I gotta keep doing this now. Like, I thought this was for fun, and now it's fun, but now it's work. However, it has been the most rewarding thing ever, because we've seen people come together, we've met so many people, we've seen people actually collaborate on projects together because of the event. And then our last event was that last year? I don't know. Was it last year?
Or if you're counting my workshop events too as well.
Yeah. Our last big event was actually a music event. We hosted it at Park and Rec in North Park. It was amazing. We took a whole bunch of local artists and did that. That was super fun. Everyone had a great time. So right now we're working on making more events for the future for you guys, and I hope that we can bring more light onto the San Diego creatives, because everyone always goes to LA, and I'm like, no, we're here. Like, why are we? Yeah, like, why are we bringing it up? They're already oversaturated. Like, no, we're here. Let's build the roots at home. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of what we're doing, and we've been on a pause because we're actually getting married in like 2-3 weeks. So I have been event planning that wedding for the past 2 years. So now that's finally finishing up, I can actually full-fledged into more creative networking stuff. So yeah, that's what I do, and we do it for the community. We actually don't really make any money off of it. Maybe like $100 profit, but it's all for the community, and that's all what we're here for.
We got
supporting people. Yeah, so yeah, that's it. But you can follow. I'll put the page up there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So so that's me. That's us. Big takeaway. I mean, just no excuses, y'all. Like, that's where you'll get hung up. Like, there's no excuses, like, whatsoever. Like, there's literally no excuse. You know what I'm saying? If you're passionate about something, if you don't even have the equipment, and you want to rap, you take your behind on the beach and you just rap. You rap. You rap to people. You find somebody who has equipment. You collaborate. There's no excuse. And that's the big takeaway with me. And that's my story. My story is based off of no excuses. And I work my way here. Yeah, that's about it. You can follow me on Instagram, KayPressPlay _ That's the 5 to 9 Creatives Instagram as well. We have a TikTok for 5 to 9?
Not yet.
Not yet. Oh, okay. But yeah, that's us. Thank you so much. Oh, you can come tap my card whenever you want. If I haven't met you before, I think we already did. Yeah, for sure.
Super innovative and unique.
Thank you. Make some noise for the both of them again. People performing, just put your name on the board when you're up here. That way, people want to follow you. Jot it down real quick. But once he's done, we're gonna bring next to the stage Mr. Ness.
Oh shit.
The man with the camera in his hand right now. Ness, to give y'all a quick rundown of him. Makes music, he produces, he shoots videos. He's a really positive dude. Met him at a show. What was the show at L After, right? L Social After Club?
Yeah, it was the one hosted by Deep Side.
Yeah, and again, great energy, so super excited to hear what he has to say. Ness, y'all.
How we feeling, guys? Come on, I need some more enthusiasm. How we feeling, guys? Woo! Don't worry, Griggs. My handwriting's even worse than yours. All right, I'm not gonna delve too much into who I am as a person. If you guys have an interest in that, you guys can go check out my Instagram later. But because this is a content creation workshop, I'm going to be speaking about that, things like SEO, hashtags, how you do your captions, all that kind of stuff. Who you're gearing your content to, who's your audience, stuff like that. For me, I don't go out to too many shows out here. I do a couple a little bit up north, but for me, my biggest way of building exposure for myself is through the content. So through that, I've learned a lot of different strategies and just understanding how to apply those to yourself as an artist, but also like understanding your audience. So I have a question. Does anybody in here know what, besides you, because I know you probably know what this is. Do you guys know what SEO is? Search engine optimization. Grace, you know what that is? Yeah? Okay. So I'll delve into that a little bit later, but to begin, I'd say just when it comes to music, there's a lot of passion and purpose there for a lot of us, right? There's a lot of different things that we speak about. We speak about our struggles. We speak about things that people don't know about us. So it's more than just an art form, you know, it's more than just an outlet. It can be a reality for us, right? It's how we express things that we're not able to express on a day-to-day basis. But in order to get those messages across, you gotta be able to know your audience, right? You gotta be able to know what your audience likes, things like that. So to begin, who is your audience, right? Who are you curating your content for? You know, is it an audience that knows you well? Is it your family? Is it your friends? Is it an audience that doesn't know you very well at all? Are you trying to gear to new listeners, appeal to new fans? Are you trying to appeal to other artists, right? Are you a creative that does things for other artists? Videos, photos, beats, engineering, any of that kind of stuff. Asking this question, it'll really help you to determine which way you're gonna go with your content. After that, what is your audience like, right? Because you might have the music, but what if your audience wants to know more about you? And it's gonna depend on person to person. Maybe some people just wanna know your music. Maybe some people wanna know you more as an artist, right? Maybe they wanna know what you contribute to a track. You know, do you do the vocals? Do you do the writing? Do you do the producing? Do you do the engineering? Things like that. And along those same lines, they want to know what that process is like, right? What was that writing process like? When you write a song like Not Regular by Mr. Evan Volk, right? What's that writing process like? Because they have the music, but they want to know the process behind the music as well. Learning about the artist, right? Learning about how they wrote that song or what that studio session was like. So it's not always going to be documentation. Just being able to gather that from content adds another level of connectivity between artist and audience, right? Some people, you know, they get the initial buzz and they blow up, right? But you never really see those listeners, that audience, stick around because they don't get to connect to that artist on that level. So knowing what kind of content you're creating for your audience is very necessary. Because you could drive people in, but if you don't keep them, they're going to go on to the next artist. And with that, it really depends on what you're doing, whether or not you're going to do long form or short form content, right? If you're looking to discuss yourself as an individual and allow people to become familiar with you, you might be doing longer form content. You might be doing podcasts. You might be doing interviews. You might even be doing magazines and stuff like that. That kind of stuff is going to be your long form content. You're going to want to be putting it in places like YouTube, maybe Spotify for your podcast or whatever. But something that in this day and age I feel like I see more of than the long form content, definitely the short form stuff. When you guys are scrolling on your feed, whether it be like Instagram Reels or TikTok, YouTube Shorts, whatever, do you guys, let me see a raise of hands. Do you guys see more short form content than long form content? Yeah? Yeah. So with that, that's going to go for your collaborations, your solo content, things you do with other artists, all of that. That's going to be your more short form. Another big thing is I feel like I see a lot of captions, right? Because people's attention spans are so short, they they can only listen to something and focus on it for so long. If you have something to keep them engaged constantly, consistently, chances are they're going to watch the whole piece of content through, right? And I feel like just something that helps out a lot. And getting to SEO, which is going to be your search engine optimization. This is, you know, your keywords, this is going to be your hashtags, this is going to be your captions, things like that. And what SEO is going to help you do, when people go to search about you, you're going to appear higher in the results, because what it's doing is it's adding another level of exposure to you as an individual and an artist. So that not only helps for your audience who wants to know you better and engage with you, learn more about you, but publications, magazines, podcasters, interviewers, stuff like that. In order to get that information about you, they're gonna wanna have easy access to it, right? So SEO is really gonna help you develop that. I think I touched on all the bases of what I had to say, but content is absolutely necessary in this day and age. You can't just be an artist. You know, it's gotta be more than that, because you can have the music, you can have the sounds, you can have all of that, but there needs to be a visual appeal as well. If people don't know you, they're not gonna know your music. And so you gotta be in front of them. You gotta be consistent with it. There's gonna be days where you don't wanna make shit, right? You know, my recent song, it's not doing as well as I wanted it to, or I just released a project and I'm not seeing an influx of streams like I expected. Well, how do you expect people to do that? You gotta place yourself in front of them, and the music itself isn't gonna do that. So you gotta go out and do that. Consistency is the biggest thing. Posting every single day so you're in people's faces. That's the first step to allowing your audience to become familiar with you. And from then, interviews, podcasts. You know, if you just released a project, go on a press tour, whether it's here in the city or you venture outside. That's a great way to gather content. You're gonna gather a lot of clips, and I promise you guys, people wanna see more of you, right? They wanna be able to connect to you. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about content. Hope it was helpful.
Oh man, dude. Make some noise for Ness. He's gonna perform later too. He makes really, really good music. So next, again, thank you Ness for sharing that information. Next, proud to introduce the homie Dre. This man, Mr. Worldwide, man. Who knows where he'll be next week? You know, this brand that he's wearing, this is his brand, the Hood Travel Guide. He'll talk to you a little bit about that. Please, yeah, put your Instagram, and yeah, make sure y'all follow these people, man. And bro's into street biking as well, but he'll talk to you all about that.
What's going on? How you guys doing? Youre. My name is Dre. I go by the Hood Travel Guide on Instagram. I recently started traveling in, I would say, 2022. I took my first trip to Mexico with one of my best friends. And I mean, I was scared to go to Mexico for the longest, like going based off of, I would say, other people's stories. You know, they say, oh, I have this experience, that experience, you know, but finally figured out, you know, you gotta go have your own experience when it comes to traveling. I started this brand that's called the Hood Travel Guide. It's for people that don't travel a lot. You know, why is it called the Hood Travel Guide? It's just for people that don't leave the section that they're from, whether it's the hood or wherever the case is, they're living through me. My most recent travels was to Thailand. I stay in a lot of hostels when I travel. I backpack a lot. It's more budget friendly and you can see a lot and meet other people. I meet a lot of people like you guys when I'm out traveling. So anybody ever has questions about traveling, where to go, or anything like that, I'm always here to help people make itinerary lists. Done a couple of itinerary lists of people going to Mexico, someone with an itinerary list to Morocco as well. I would say for me traveling, my favorite country right now is, I would say, Morocco. So yeah, if you guys ever need any tips, I got you. That's about it.
What was your favorite part of Morocco?
Favorite part, like where or what was it?
Just through the whole experience. What was
your experience? That was my first time in Africa. I didn't know what to expect going to Africa, like how people were going to treat me, locals, just being a black African American. It was pretty good. Like, I was very welcoming. I would say I was even in Spain on a layover coming back from Morocco, and I met this guy that was from Morocco, and I was telling him, oh, I was just over there in Fez and Marrakesh, and he was just like, he was surprised. He was like inviting me to his home next time I go back. And I was at another hostel as well, so just let alone just Morocco. The people are very welcoming. The food was good. I liked the food. I did a cooking class in Fez, learned how to make a couple of Moroccan dishes. Yeah. And the sandboarding, I did sandboarding in the desert. That was pretty dope. Camel riding, that was dope. Yeah.
I'm just curious, do you have any recommendations for somebody just getting into traveling in terms of like looking for the right spaces or the right hostels? Or, you know, because I'm trying to look into traveling and stuff and just checking other spots out. Do you have any recommendations for?
Yeah, so like for me, bro, when it comes to hostels, you gotta download. There's like a yellow app on the App Store. It's called Hostel World, and the backpackers on there, they're pretty honest. Like if there's any like BS on certain hostels, people aren't going there. So
yeah,
the hostels for the most part, they try to keep a good name for themselves. I started backpacking in Mexico. For you, bro, I would say like there's this place by Mexico, by Puerto Vallarta. It's called Sayulita. It's a pretty cool small town. So honestly, that's my favorite. It's one of my favorite places in Mexico. Besides this place in Oaxaca called Puerto Escondido, which is similar. Yeah, they're both surf towns. So I would say honestly, starting in Puerto Escondido or Sayulita wouldn't be too bad. And the hostels in both places are pretty cool. There's a hostel in Puerto Escondido called Che. That's a pretty good hostel. It's a party hostel. Probably like 3-minute walk to the beach. Some fire coconut fish tacos over there. Yeah. So I mean, if you're looking like more budget friendly backpacking, I would say Mexico. If you're looking like you want to spend a little more money on a ticket, but budget friendly when you arrive, I would say Southeast Asia is pretty cool. Thailand was very budget friendly. I was there for 7 days, and I took out a total 600, like maybe 650 if that, and I got a tattoo with that too. So I mean, like Thailand was budget friendly. The Philippines was pretty good on the budget. I'm looking at hosting a group trip to Japan in October. So you know the yen's kind of a good transfer rate right now, so I want to be a part of that. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Heck yeah. Any questions?
His trips are lit too, so for real, talk to him if you need any travel.
Yo, talk about the biking too.
Oh yeah, so another thing too, I started riding bicycles, like BMX bikes, and during COVID. So I would say around like 2020. That also got me into traveling as well. I remember I started riding my bike in 2020. I couldn't do a wheelie. I'm like, dang, I can't do a wheelie. I started meeting people online from posting videos and things like that. I met these people from Hawaii, and I'm like, dang, I'm gonna take my bike to Hawaii for my birthday. I remember I was like, I have like 7 months into my birthday to learn how to do a wheelie, so it was like every day it was like crunch hour. I was like, I can't go to Hawaii and rep San Diego, I can't do a wheelie. Like, it's not gonna be cool, you know? So, I ride bicycles, and that alone honestly opened me up into like a networking aspect. I wasn't always into networking, walking up to people just talking, or you know, just as far as like just approaching people. So riding bicycles for me, it gave me like a different lane to like pursue like networking with other people. Yeah, biking. I've been to Hawaii, taking my bike to Vegas, San Francisco a couple times. In September, I hosted a bike ride out in Paris. So I took my bike to Paris and did a bike ride out over there. That was pretty cool. That's probably my most recent. I went to Miami in January for Martin Luther King weekend. It was like an annual bike ride around that weekend, so it's my second year going. Yeah, looking at next month, hopefully going back to Hawaii or Puerto Rico. So we'll see. That'll be a bike trip as well.
Nice.
So yeah.
You ever done a road trip?
Road trips. A couple of my bike trips were road trips to like San Francisco, Vegas, places like that. I do a couple road trips. I do travel in the States. My mom lives in Atlanta, so I go back and forth to Atlanta here and there. You know, so I do travel within the States. I'm not away from it. It's just more expensive. Yeah. You know, but yeah. That's about it. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you, bro.
Wow, you killed that. Make some noise for the homie one more time, man. Yeah, thank you. And again, definitely talk to him if y'all need some traveling advice, because this guy makes me want to leave the country every time I see his posts. I swear, his stories, it be too turned. So Thank you for your time, man.
Appreciate you, bro.
Next, oh man, got the homie Evan Volk, man. There's so much to say about this guy. He just put out an album. He's about to graduate from SDSU. He lifeguards, he surfboards. Dude is positive ass energy, like one of the most positive people I've met, and it's super honored to have you talk. So looking forward to hear what you gotta say. Evan Volk.
I appreciate it, man.
Oh,
Shout
right
out.
name real quick.
Oh yeah, I gotta put my name on it, dude. I should have done that before.
Appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you.
Alright, switch it up, get some blue on there or something. But anyway, what's up, y'all? My name's Evan Volk, and honored to be up here. Shout out Curtis for putting this together. And really, I'm in a place to speak on my own experience, and I'm not gonna act like I have the solution for blowing up. I haven't blown up yet. I've had some videos get a lot of views. I've had a lot of flops, and overall, you know, that's the reality of it. I'm still learning, so I'm gonna speak on my experience. I was sent some questions before, so I kind of want to go over the questions and keep it sweet and brief. And yeah, so in terms of how do I balance authenticity with strategic marketing when creating content for both your personal brand and your music? For me, I think the key is being authentic from the start. So when you start making music, if you're being authentic, it's a million times easier to promote it in an authentic way. So I think that's the key that I found through that. And that's my answer. Honestly, keeping it authentic from the start with your music is the key there. And also embracing your flaws and your mistakes. I think the only time when this isn't as beneficial when you want to be mysterious, you know, like Playboy Cardi or something crazy like that. But the reality is people enjoy seeing the bloopers, and that's from my experience. And what advice would you give to artists looking to leverage their existing skills or passions to grow their social media presence and promote their music successfully? I would say lean into your passions and look for ways that you can use this passion to intertwine with your music and really just be yourself through it. That's the honest advice I can give there. And that's the best way that I think you can lean into it. And then what's one marketing strategy you borrowed from the surfing world that surprisingly worked for promoting your music? For me, it's hard to draw a specific comparison, but I think that you can see the patterns and the parallels in terms of just being authentic. I think that it wasn't specifically, there's something that the WSL, the World Surf League, does that, you know, Complex or the Shade Room also does, besides just the fundamentals of marketing and just keeping it authentic and promoting the brand in an authentic way. And what's a common mistake you see artists making when trying to grow on social media, and what's your best advice to avoiding it? So I think it's hard to tell what a mistake is because what gains traction on social media is so nuanced. I think the one thing I can say for sure is that lacking consistency, but that doesn't mean you have to get spammy and post every single day. I think that it varies from person to person, and honestly, we're all still figuring it out. People will claim they have the formula, claim they know the exact answers, but the reality is if it were that simple, then everybody would blow up. And I think that there are certain things and commonalities in social media that I've found, like staying consistent enough, but there's only so much quality that you want to sacrifice. So it's really up to you in terms of what you're going to sacrifice for your quality and your image. And how do you handle people who follow you for surfing but aren't as interested in your music? Have you found ways to win them over? No, I haven't. And that's the reality of it. Some people aren't gonna like your music, and that's just the way it is. It is what it is. At the end of the day, I have made some like surf rap stuff that kind of was catered towards it, but you know, at the end of the day, if they don't like it, that's totally cool, and that's just part of life. And if you had to start from zero today, knowing what you know now, how would you build your audience differently? I think that for me, what I did with the TikTok thing, so I went on TikTok and I made like these surf talk videos, like just surf content and stuff, and I kind of put myself in a box doing that. And what happened was I found myself, at first, of course, like everything else, started off authentic, based off experience, but then I found myself, I got to 30,000 followers on there, and I've never seen numbers like that before, and now TikTok numbers, that's almost nothing. Like, you know, everybody blows up on TikTok now, but the reality was for me, I've been making YouTube videos since I was a kid, and I'd never seen numbers like that before, so I kept leaning into this surf thing, and then I intertwined it with the surf rap a little bit, but the reality was that I got a little bit too caught up in that niche. And so overall, my point is, don't trap yourself in a box just because that's what's getting views. Try and keep it authentic, and of course you can lean into it a little bit. And finding that balance is really up to you. I don't have a solidified answer in terms of the way to do that, but I think trial and error. And as I said, the key thing throughout here is being authentic. I wanted to leave one thing and mention one note before I go off of here, because like I said, I don't have it all figured out. I'm not really in a place to give you all solidified advice, but I can tell you from my experience. I've been interning at Ineffable Music Group. They're a music label. They're based around reggae music. I help manage social media for the Movement, the California Honey Drops, and the Elevators. They're all well-established bands, and I'd say what I've learned from them is something that I think that everybody should be getting on. Who here has heard of trial reels? Okay, cool. Who here is posting trial reels? One person?
Oh, I have heard of it.
One person? All right, awesome. No, that's perfect. So I'm glad I can give this tip here. So trial reels. Post on trial reels. Here's the thing. So Instagram allows you, I think this is allowed for every account. It might just be business account. And if you don't have your Instagram set up as a business account, I would highly recommend it. Trial reels. If you post on trial reels, what it does is it only sends your posts out to people that don't follow you. And what happens is, yes, you post on this and maybe even the first 10, 20 videos get like 50 views. Sometimes they get 2 views. Sometimes because Instagram can't figure out the niche it is or whatever. It's still a trial and error sort of thing. But here's what you can do. What the social media company had me do, or what the internship company had me do in Ineffable Music, they had me post to the Movement's Instagram, the California Honey Drops Instagram, and the Elevators Instagram. Every single time we posted a reel, which is every day to every other day, and they had me posting trial reels every day. So what I would do is I would either post that same reel to trials simultaneously with the one to their regular feed, if that makes sense. So I'm posting there, say I post a reel today, I'm also going to post that same exact reel, same exact caption, maybe not tagging the same people to avoid being annoying, but I'm going to post that to trial reels as well, because my followers aren't going to see that unless they click on the original sound and see that there's 2 videos. But that's something you can, if you don't like doing that, that's totally fine. But what I learned from doing this, at first, no views, barely any views, couple hundred, and like 2 likes. What happened was on the Movement's Instagram, one time one video got 1.5 thousand views, and this is all people that don't follow them, and they got 160 something likes. And I have it all on my phone, but it's all archived right now. I don't really need to get too specific. If anyone wants to talk to me after, I'm happy to show you. But my point is, these videos started amassing views, and their follower count average started going up every week. And it's basically free promotion. You're posting it to people who don't follow you already, and you can geotag, so you can put locations, and it'll cater towards that location. If you want to post old content that went pretty well, that did well statistically, you can repost that as many times as you want, and the trial reel every single time will post to a new audience. And I think that the key thing for that is consistently. That's just a little tip I wanted to give, something that I've learned a lot, and I've gotten views from that. And sometimes it's unsuccessful, sometimes it's not. The California Honey Drops, they haven't had much success on the trial reels. The Elevators, they've had success. But the cool thing is, last thing I'm going to say about the trial reels is that if you have a video that's successful, you can keep posting it. On the Movement, we have a video that every time I post it on trial reels, it gets 2,000 to 3,000 views and between 80 and 180 likes, about that range. And you can just keep posting it. You just post it as many times as you want. So I just want to give that tip, and as always, I'm still learning, so if anybody has any advice, totally give it to me. I'm always open to it. And yeah, shout out Curtis for putting on this event. My name's Evan Volk. Thank you all.
Make some noise for Evan one more time, y'all. Trial reel. Never heard of that. Yeah.
Check 'em out.
That's dope. Yeah. Yeah. So the next guest speaker is gonna be Shaun. So give you a little quick background. It's my first time me and him did a track together. Yeah, he just shows a lot of love online, and likewise, and he's super consistent. He's part of the Friendly Table crew. He dances, he makes music. There's a lot going on with the homie, so I'm gonna let him tell y'all a little more about himself. But yeah, make some noise for Shaun, y'all.
I wrote stuff down. What's up, everybody? My name is Shaun T, and I'm a content creator. But before I talk about that, I'm gonna tell you guys a little bit about myself. So I grew up in Southeast San Diego. I went to Morris High School, and I'm a b-boy / breakdancer I rep the Paradise Crew. And I started dancing back in middle school, and you look familiar, I actually remember you. But, sorry. Anyway, music has always been like a big part of my life since middle school. But anyway, how did I get into content creation and how did I grow my platform? So it all started as a creative outlet. It was 2018, I was 17 years old. And in the beginning, it just started off as me making videos for fun, like doing basketball videos with my friends and all that. But then 2020 hit, lockdown, which meant I couldn't make the same type of videos that I was making before. And at first, I was a little sad because I was like, damn, what am I gonna do? But for those 2 years, I really wasn't getting any views anyway, so it didn't hurt like that anyway. And so I went on YouTube, and I saw what other content creators are doing, and then I saw them pivoting, and then all of them were like doing reactions at the time because everyone was stuck at home. And at first I was like, man, do I really want to do reactions right now? Like, I'm not a reaction type person. But I was like, why not? So I started reacting to music and listening to music that I never listened to before, like drill rap from Australia. Like, they had their own drill scene. Like, I didn't know about that. And I started reacting to South African Amapiano and Nigerian Afro beats. And I started to find artists like Burna Boy, Wizkid, and Tyler. And the crazy thing is, like, that was the first time I'd ever listened to them, right? So I had no idea that they would blow up like internationally the way that they did. But because I've been reacting to them early on, my channel started growing as they started to grow too. So I admit, honestly, I did get lucky because of the circumstances at the time, but I was also posting like 3 reactions a day, every day. So I also worked hard to get lucky. And that's what I tell people all the time. Like, the more consistent you are, the more you increase your chances of being at the right place at the right time. So I tested different kinds of videos, learned what my audience liked, and then I doubled down on that. And I leaned into trends, of course, as like a content creator doing that stuff. But I also stayed real with my audience, and that's what started to build trust with them. And that's what helped me grow. And a question I get sometimes is, how do you turn your natural gifts into engaging content? Like, the stuff that you're good at, how do you turn that into content? So first, you gotta pay attention to what people naturally come to you for. Like, are you the funny one in the group? Or are you the one who explains things to people in a clear, concise way? Or are you the one who brings a whole vibe just by showing up, right? And that's your starting point. Then you ask yourself, how could I show this on camera in a way that helps people, or entertains people, or inspires people? And your gift doesn't have to be flashy or anything, it just has to be authentically you, right? And the magic happens when your natural energy connects with something valuable to other people. And when we talk about value, let's talk about authenticity too, because authenticity is a big part of that, right? So people can feel when something is being fake or forced. Like, the creators or artists who really build a loyal audience are the ones who show up as themselves. Like, the flaws they make, like the stutters that they do when they're talking, and you can tell like when they're nervous and stuff, like me a little bit, and their weird interests and all that. For example, I like K-pop, I like K-dramas. Like, when I say K-dramas, I don't mean like Squid Games, I mean like the lovey-dovey K-dramas and all that. So now when my subscribers find out that I'm a K-pop fan or a K-drama fan, some of them are like, yo, me too, same. But then some of them are like, damn, bro, like, really? But it's those little things, right? Those little, like, inside jokes, those unexpected things about you that build a connection with people, right? So even if they're not into that specific thing, now whenever they see something about that, they're gonna think about you. So people don't just follow your content, they follow you as a human being. And once I understood that, everything started to change.
when you're authentic, you attract the right people and the people who really connect with you. Now, I gotta talk about the flip side. Here's some stuff that holds people back. One big mistake is trying to please everybody. And I've struggled with this too. Sometimes when you try reaching everybody, you end up reaching nobody. Because sometimes when you try to go too broad, sometimes your message gets diluted in the process. So it's better to speak directly to your people, even if the audience is small at first. And another big mistake, someone else touched upon this before, but inconsistency. And most of the time that comes from overthinking everything. And I've seen it time and time again where people spend all this time trying to make a big plan for what they're gonna do, and then they end up never doing it. They waste all this time trying to make this perfect plan when in reality, there's no such thing as a perfect plan, and you're not gonna get it right the first time, and most likely not the second time or the third time. But yeah, just remember, getting stuff done is better than trying to be perfect. And that brings me to one of the biggest mindset shifts that I've had. Stop trying to be perfect and just upload or post or make that song, right? Because before, I used to sit on ideas forever, second guessing every little thing. But at some point, I realized that a lot of people use perfectionism as an excuse, and it turns into laziness, right? You're scared to fail, so you don't even try. But the truth is, you learn faster by doing, and then messing up, and then starting over and doing it again. Because now you're starting over from experience. So if you're a creator, or an artist, or an entrepreneur, don't waste time waiting for things to be perfect. Just put it out there, show up consistently, stay in touch with your audience, and above all, be real, be authentic. Because that's the type of stuff that lasts forever. Thank you.
Oh yeah, let's make noise for Shaun one more time. That was great. I like that. Consistency. So this is gonna end the speaking part. I do want to say shout out to the top production, Pierre. Shout out to my brother Dan Rigo in the back, Mr. Video Guy too, and shout out to Ness. You know, it's super dope that y'all came together and were able to film all this for us and just take time out of your day to help also be able to put this out for someone who wasn't able to make it today or is in another city or state. So yeah, and special, again, thank you to everybody that spoke. So this next part is gonna be performing. So there was gonna be a couple other people that were gonna perform, but a couple people canceled. So what we're gonna do is this. The people that are scheduled to perform are still gonna perform, but afterwards, if we have time, I'm gonna open an open mic. So if anybody here makes music and wants to perform their music, you'll have the shot too. So first, let's bring KayPressPlay back up here, man. Again, this guy is, you're in for a treat. He makes some really dope jams, so I'm gonna, you wanna? Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, let me make sure I get off of mine real quick.
All right, somebody drop a beat.